Hey, everybody. Welcome to another podcast episode. And we're kind of running with this theme. I'm here with my esteemed wife and business partner, Nancy. You can say hi.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. We got that out of the way. Anyway, welcome to today's podcast episode. We're actually talking about something really important today, which is assessing where your business is right now. We just came off of an incredible week teaching all things LinkedIn. We had over 100 people register. It was just a really great time. And Nancy and I kind of debriefed after the workshop was done. And we're always asking for feedback from people. We're big on feedback. We're big from hearing from people and what they're struggling with. And one of the big things that continues to bubble to the surface is people feel disorganized. They just feel like that they're throwing spaghetti at the wall. And if you're listening to this and you can resonate with this, then you're going to love these next few episodes that Nancy and I are going to be doing, because it's all about how to get your business organized. And with that being said, we're also excited to announce for only the second time ever, the last time we did this workshop was, I think, May. Actually, yeah, it was May of last year. And it's called Get Your Business Organized in 5 days. It's a 5-day workshop. It's completely free to register. And if you would like to register, you can. There's going to be a link in the description on both my podcast and Nancy's podcast to get your free ticket. And we're also doing something different. We took some feedback from people as well. And we usually do our workshops in the evening from 8 to 9 p.m. EDT, but we've been getting enough feedback where people said, can you try to do something in the early afternoon? So we listen. And this workshop, unlike others, obviously, A, it's free. B, it's actually going to be Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. EDT. So you can join live, you can watch the replays. They'll be available that whole week into the middle of the following week. So you'll have time to kind of watch everything back. And that way you'll be able to binge and, join on your lunch break. If you work from home, you'll be able to pop on. We're going to do it through private Zoom. Everyone gets a workbook. And if you're really looking to get your business organized, that is exactly what we're going to teach. And just to kind of give you a sneak peek, day 1 is assessing your business. Day 2, identifying what needs to get done each day. Day 3 is learning how to get organized in your business. Day 4 is mapping out your dream business. And then we're actually on the 5th day. It's almost like a bonus day, because we're going to be doing learning the keys to consistency and some Q&A, live Q&A from all of you. So again, free to register. Just go to the description of either of our podcast episodes and you can sign up. So now on to today's podcast topic, which is assessing your current business. And there's 3 specific things that we always like to talk about when it comes to identifying or assessing your current business, is really identifying something that Nancy and I know all too well, and that is bottlenecks. And for those that don't know what bottlenecks are, you can call them a kink in your hose or pain points or holes and gaps. These are the things in your business that are holding you back from growing and scaling and making the money that you want. They are thorns in your side and they are holding you back. Something that Nancy always says. Nance, what do you always say? You can't.
Yeah, I love the quote. You can't see the label from inside the jar sometimes.
So why is it important for when assessing your business? Why is it so important for you to acknowledge and understand the bottlenecks that you may have?
Oh, I mean, so important, right? I think so many of us, just, like what Scott said, we're in the weeds of our business right now, for many people. And, I know in fact, we did a podcast episode a couple of weeks ago about entrepreneurial burnout, and people feeling overwhelmed and kind of getting exhausted and hitting a wall and just feeling like, all the things. And really, 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 I cannot stress this enough. It's so hard to keep trudging through all of that and that feeling and that overwhelm and that messy chaos without taking some steps back every once in a while in your business. And really getting that big picture view of everything that's going on. And by assessing your business, right? Going through the foundational processes, right? That every single business, big or small, service based or product based, right? They should all have the same, three core processes in their business, which is, what we talk about in the workshop greatly, right? We break out the three core processes, which we'll get into that in just a minute. But really going through each part of those and working through with your business, where am I at with this? Do I have a this in place? Do I have, so on and so forth. So it's so incredibly important to step back. And I think now is a really good time, right? It's end of April when we're recording this, which it's going to be May, right? As soon as you guys are listening to it, literally, this is happening very fast. But it's a great time to recalibrate, reassess, and look at your business. And, whether you are just starting out and maybe you're unsure of what those foundations are, and maybe you want to get them started, or you've been in this for a little while and you know that you just haven't built the systems or the processes or foundations in place, now is a good time as ever, right? To actually take a step back and to assess. And to really dig in and see where those bottlenecks are so that you can run your business more efficiently, more effectively, and with less stress. So yeah.
Well, you hit the bottleneck right on the head. So, I mean, full transparency, Nancy and I, we had two specific bottlenecks that we really identified, and we always look for bottlenecks each and every year. One was KPI tracking, and the other was advancement with our copywriting. We just felt that we weren't converting with specific email copy, and maybe it wasn't in our voice, or we weren't paying enough attention to it. Maybe our sales page really wasn't resonating, both on our websites, but also personally. And the KPIs, the key performance indicators, we weren't really tracking what was working and what wasn't working. We would just always say, "Oh, great launch, things went well, people signed up," but we didn't really track any of that. So we knew those were bottlenecks that if we had extra eyeballs on that, it would help us see what was working that we need to throw more gasoline on, and what isn't working so we can lay it to rest and not focus on it anymore. Nancy, I know you want to say
Totally. And
something
yeah, I mean, I was going to say every single year we do this. We assess our business.
at the end of every year.
The first time, we ever did this, we realized that we didn't have a project management system in place, and we were patchwork quilting everything, and it was all over the place, and we really need to reel it in. And and then the next year it was like, okay, we want to build more residual income streams, and we got to have sales funnels and a process in place. So it's been great, and it's just great business practice to assess your business in this way. And like I said, I mean, we do it every single year. But for a business owner, a coach, or a consultant, or someone in a service-based business who is listening, who has never done it and might not know what they're missing, or might not know what they don't know, this workshop, we're absolutely going to dig in to the meat and bones of your business, and dig into those bottlenecks.
So the second thing that you want to do when assessing your business, it's what Nancy and I call the three core processes. And we're not going to get into all three of them, but Nancy, if you can kind of dive in a little bit and give kind of a sneak peek behind those three core processes when you are assessing your business, what's that look like, and how can you explain that to the audience?
Yeah. So for those of you who know me, I'm very operationally driven. I love organization. I love, systems, all kinds of things. So when it comes to running a business, I try to keep things as simple as possible. So yes, could we talk about a ton of different systems and processes you could have in your business? Absolutely. But if we start at the very top, the three, right, that every single size of business, the three that every single one has is operations, is marketing and sales, right? We kind of group that together, and then financial. So what we do is that assessment breaks each of those down And then we dig deeper into all the things, that you should have in place for your business under those categories. So again, starting there and starting very high level gives us a chance to then start layering down and identifying those additional processes and things like that we need to really dig into.
Love that. And again, we're kind of giving you the 10,000-foot view of what it means to assess your business. We literally could be on here for 60 minutes kind of diving into all of this, but that's another reason why we want you to come to the workshop, because you're going to see us in action. You're going to get a workbook that's going to allow you to kind of identifying your own bottlenecks, really putting into those core processes in place. And again, the third thing that we wanted to kind of talk about briefly today in what you need to do to assess your business is to have a plan of action. The simple saying and adage goes, when you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And I can't stress this enough to all the listeners. What has allowed Nancy and I and our company to grow and scale year after year, the last 4 years. And just to be like Nance, remember we were going over like the numbers and things are just continuing to grow. It's because we have a plan of action in place. And we're very transparent about this, the October of every year. So before everyone's in full swing in Q4, we always sit down October of every year. We plan out the remaining quarter. We try to predict what income is coming in to round out the year of revenue for the company. But the other thing that we do is we plan ahead for the year coming up. And this year, 2023, there were, I would say, two things that we were really putting plans of action around. One had to do with Nancy and one had to do with me. Now, again, you guys know we run these companies together. But there are programs that Nancy runs and heads herself. There's things that she kind of drives home, and there's things that I kind of drive home. And we have an expert foundations course that Nancy just did such, I can't even express to you how amazing this course that she built out was and is. It's just, it transforms those people that are in the beginning stages of their business and what they need to do. But that's her baby. That is a thing that we identified. Okay, we had a beta launch for it in 2022. It did phenomenal. People loved it. Amazing feedback. And we knew that going into 2023, we had to put some serious thought, energy, and effort into how we're going to structure that. The other was having a plan of action for rebranding a membership that Nancy and I launched back in 2017, 2018. Nancy helped me put together a membership. This was like way back in the day. And we're actually going to be rebranding it and relaunching it in the next couple of months. And that became kind of like not our huge focus, but a focus moving into this year. But we needed to put specific plans of action. And full transparency, we've like switched around workshops that we were going to be doing twice already. And I remember looking at like Nancy and I were on a Zoom. Sometimes we'll Zoom with each other. She's in her office, I'm downstairs in mine. And I remember one day looking over at my whiteboards, which we have a 30-day view, and then we have a 60-day view of what we have coming up. And I said to Nancy, I'm like, you know what? I think we should switch around two of the workshops. It does not work well. It doesn't flow. I think it's going to cause issues. And we've done that twice already. And the whole point of this is that Nancy and I are in it with you, meaning you are listening to two individuals that are running an amazing company together that are still doing the do. When we talk about assessing your business, identifying bottlenecks, your core processes, having a plan of action, that we're teaching that because that's what we do year in and year out. If we didn't, we're never going to put ourselves on that pedestal where we are so far above and beyond where everybody else is that we're, not relatable. It's just we're in the trenches with you, and we love helping people just like you that are listening to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the reason why we created this workshop, which we're so excited to do, the Get Your Business Organized workshop, it was so many of our audience and so many of our clients, and members and, people in our community were just like, look, I need a clear plan of action. I'm not sure what to do each day in my business, and not having the confidence of knowing what to do every day starts to feel like, if you've ever felt that feeling, right, where you're spinning your tires, right, and you're kind of just staying in the same place and you're like, and the mud's kicking up and you're like, I'm not getting anywhere and I'm frustrated and I'm overwhelmed and now I don't even know what I should be doing. And so it just goes down this slippery slope. And so, this workshop is absolutely amazing. We got such great feedback the last time we did it. And to Scott's point, I mean, we
It's
literally
it's
like,
free. It's a free
oh,
workshop.
and it's a free workshop. Yeah. So we're not like sitting here going, oh yeah, sign up and pay, no, it's literally free. So, I mean, literally could not come at a better time. In all honesty, I think that so many people, I just keep hearing this again and again, people who are wanting to get a handle on their business, right now and kind of recalibrate and get organized. I mean, we've got so many things coming out, right? We've got AI happening. We've got tech changes. We've got all kinds of stuff happening, all this noise around us. We talk about recession. In fact, Scott knows I keep talking about a time recession, right? People are being very, very particular with our time. So you better believe that
Pause right there. Like, I don't think people heard enough about the time. Like, talk about, like, just, I know I don't
yeah,
want to like go off topic, but people know
yeah.
about a monetary recession. Um, for those that are listening to this, Nance, fill them in on this time recession that people are going through right now.
I mean, honestly, so many people are feeling, right? So much. And whether it's the energy, whether it's the craziness going on with the tech and the, evolution of things, and just the business world in general, like things are changing. We're experiencing a huge shift right now. And then add on top of that, people who are maybe not spending as much money or who are, going through a lot of different things. And I think more than ever, and again, I keep, like obviously talking to Scott about this is, we just, everything that we put out, all the workshops that we do, everything that we deliver, we want to make sure we give you guys the absolute most amazing value possible. And again, this is a free workshop, but we are going to crush it for you, because we know that if you're going to invest your time with us, right, we want you to sign up for this workshop. We want you to register and we want you to actually show up and take action during this workshop, because we know that literally, just what we talked about this in this episode so far, we're talking about assessing your business. We literally give you the assessment to assess your business so you can identify the things, right? That's one step forward. Now we know what we need to dig into. Then, right, day 2, day 3, day 4, it all builds off each other. And by the time day 5 is gone, you guys literally have a plan of action and you have things that you need to work on in your business and you have a routine, right? Because again, it's really, really important that you guys feel confident about what you need to be doing in your business. So, anyway, the workshop's awesome, but we were just talking about, right, to loop it all back, mapping out your plan of action, and again, when we talk about tangible and we talk about having a plan to action, in fact, I always use the quote, right, Benjamin Franklin, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Right. So we need to absolutely have a plan in place. We got to get the wheels on this bus. We got to get you making some traction and feeling confident about moving forward. In fact, we're using the word committed, right? We don't want you to just be, oh, I want to do this business. And I think, no, we want you to be boom, like I want you to really take this business serious and, go forward. In fact, I was listening to an awesome episode and I didn't even share this with you, Scott. In fact, I think we're going to do, so we have in our group mastermind program, we have a mindset call every Monday. And I loved the topic that Chris and Lori Harder talked about on their podcast. And it's the Chris Harder Show. I was listening to it and they said it was at like a Bidris Coolian event or something. And he used the quote. He said, would you rather be on a merry-go-round, right? The merry-go-round of life and everything's the same and it's so predictable and you know what it's going to be like. Or do you want to get on the roller coaster and there's going to be, whoa, there's going to be high ups and there's going to be downs and there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And I don't know about you, right? I'm here for the excitement. I am on that roller coaster. I'm riding the entrepreneurial wave. But when we can mitigate some of those lows and we can actually put a plan in place that's going to keep us soaring in the right direction, I'm going to do it. So that's again something so important that we go through on the day one of our workshop. It's epic. It's amazing. We're just starting to talk about it now. So if you guys are tuning in, obviously when this episode airs, it's going to be a good one. So you want to mark your calendars. In fact, it's May 22nd. Again, if you're listening to this now and it hasn't happened yet, get it on your calendar and register, and we're going to put the link in the description. It's 5 days of amazingness. And like Scott said, we actually got some feedback that we really had a want to do a daytime workshop. So our workshops typically are 8 to 9 p.m. EST or EDT. And this workshop, again, May 22nd, the Get Your Business Organized workshop is going to be 1 to 2 p.m. EST, Monday through Friday. So you guys are going to get to have, Scott and myself teaching. I'll actually be here on Thursday, solo rocking it. But it's going to be a great training.
So again, just to reiterate, we went over, assessing where your business is. So again, acknowledging those bottlenecks, having those core processes in place, and also having a plan of action. And we're going to be teaching all that and more. But if you know that you have a known bottleneck in your business, don't ignore it any longer. The longer that you push it to the side, the longer it's going to take to get your business to where you need it to be. And again, identify it, put some core processes in place, get a plan of action of getting rid of that bottleneck so you can move your business forward. So again, we will be covering all that and more during the Get Your Business Organized in 5 days workshop from May 22nd to May 26th, 1 to 2 p.m. EDT, live and recorded workbook and everything. And we would love to see you there. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love and gratitude, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.